Right now, why Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett says a proposed amendment would put the opening of the new Dane County Jail in jeopardy.
Plus, the Sun Prairie School Board is meeting tonight to discuss a new policy regarding communication with the public as tension with the parents remains high. And later, Richland County is looking to get rid of its ambulance service. How much longer the service will be around if no agreement to fund it is made. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric Franke. And I'm Sarah Carlson. We begin tonight with a clash for cash. To balance Dane County's $31 million deficit, some supervisors are proposing unfilled sheriff's deputy positions to fund staff and other human services.
But the Dane County Sheriff says that is an unfair ask that will seriously affect public safety. And as our Armand Rahman reports, the jail that's been in the years in the making now could also be at risk here. Right, Armand?
That's right. It's throwing another potential roadblock for the $207 million Dane County jail that's currently under construction. Sheriff Calvin Barrett says without 28 positions that the amendment references, there wouldn't be enough staff to open the jail in 2027. But other county officials tell me there are other county services that deserve money and attention right now.
What we're trying to do is just really to make everything fair.
What District 6 Supervisor Yogesh Chavla and two others think is fair is taking the money budgeted for 28 Dane County deputy positions from the Dane County Sheriff's Office.
And I really want to emphasize that not one sheriff deputy is being taken off the streets, because these are vacant positions that unfortunately aren't being able to be hired. And we looked at the last 5 years of data, and that's just the case.
The money will be reallocated to health and human services programs, like funding the men's shelter being built on Bartolon Drive and staffing an overflow shelter.
Because the number of beds that we have at the shelter we have right now are going from 400 beds to 250 beds. So we're going to need an overflow shelter, particularly on the cold days that are coming up, and that shelter should be 24/7.
Javla says it's also because the sheriff did not submit a plan for a 4% budget reduction like every department was asked.
There's no other place to take 4% from.
But Sheriff Calvin Barrett says this is not the way.
This is a significant threat to public safety.
He says without those 28 positions, the new Dane County jail that's currently under construction won't be able to open in 2027, forcing the county to keep using the outdated city-county building he calls unconstitutional.
We can't open a building we can't staff. We need these positions at least a year before to start training and preparing them for the opening of this building.
He also says response time could be delayed and coverage could be reduced in rural areas of the county. The current president for the union that represents the sheriff's 472 deputies says it would bring challenges to them in the field that he hasn't seen in years.
We worked a lot of overtime, mandatory overtime, where there was no choice. You came in 4, 5, sometimes even 6 days out of your work week were 12-hour days. We will see that again if these 28 positions are lost.
And anyone who wants to share their thoughts about the proposed amendment can do so at the Public Protection and Judiciary Committee meeting tomorrow at 5:30 or at Thursday's Dane County Board meeting.
Armand, thank you. In Iowa County, a 61-year-old DeForest woman is under arrest after allegedly barricading herself inside a vehicle with a firearm over the weekend. Deputies were sent to Division Street in the village of Cobb just before 6:30 Saturday evening for a possible disturbance involving a woman inside a vehicle. The woman exited the car after several hours and was safely taken into custody without incident. She faces several charges, including possession of THC, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct.
We now know the name of the Janesville woman who died after a crash in Dodge County over the weekend. The sheriff's office says the victim was 64-year-old Cynthia McIntosh. She was driving through the intersection of County Highways I and E when a dump truck hit her car. The sheriff's office says County Highway E has the right-of-way and County Highway I has stop signs. So it's not clear whether the truck driver stopped, and the investigation continues.
A man in custody after allegedly threatening people at a grocery store yesterday. Officers were called to East Wash just before 7 o'clock in the evening. Grocery store staff say the suspect was throwing frozen pizzas at them and claimed to have a gun. When officers got there, the man tried to leave through the parking garage. Police say they used a less lethal projectile to take the suspect into custody. The suspect was not carrying a gun, but did have a knife.
Well, turning to weather now, we've had a gorgeous day, but we may see some rain tonight. We have Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington with the latest.
And that rain is right on our doorstep, already knocking on the door of Viroqua, Highway 14 intersection of 61 between Boscobel and Viroqua. We have some showers already making it to the ground. Prairie du Chien also getting in on the shower activity that's going to be rolling off towards the the east with a cold front that's going to move through southern Wisconsin tonight. So as these showers move to the east, we'll put future tracking in motion. They're going to be a quick move as we head towards 7 o'clock west of Madison, 8, 9 o'clock hitting the Madison area, Dells down to Janesville. Even at 11 o'clock at night, we'll still be looking at a few showers for Madison and areas off towards the east. And this is weather system number 1 out of several weather systems that's going to be moving through southern Wisconsin. The next one's going to be on Tuesday, staying windy through Wednesday. And then we got to watch the frost potential Wednesday night going on into Thursday. When I come back here in just a couple of minutes, we're going to track the Tuesday weather system. I'm going to let you know just how strong those wind gusts are going to get on Wednesday, and then I'll let you know how cold our temperatures are going to be over the next couple of days. It's going to be a fall-like forecast coming up.
Alex, thank you. Right now, the Sun Prairie School Board holding a governance meeting, and while there won't be public comment, several parents are attending. You're taking a live look right now at the meeting. It started at 6 o'clock. The board working on a new policy involving communication with the public. Over the past few weeks, tensions have been high since the arrest of former Dean of Sun Prairie West High School Robert Gilkey-Messigeyer in July. Parents have packed school board meetings speaking out against the school board. In October, there's been an annual meeting and a regular school board meeting. At the annual meeting, parents voted to put Sun Prairie School Superintendent Brad Sarin on a performance review and to not raise the levy limits. Both motions were approved and are in the next steps now. At the school board meeting just last week, parents spoke out for or against the community's decision, and there was a lot of backlash. Community members got into a back and forth last week.
Some community members and former employees claim that they haven't been heard.
Remember, you object and
this is my time.
You have to be fair to everybody. It's been
community members, conversations,
time and time again.
Conversations have
you
been
need
offered.
to be fair.
This is Rick's time. I am
But you
fair.
need to interject and let him know he cannot be speaking against a current board member the same way you would if it was anybody else. In the past, you've cut people off
This
for
is
doing
my
that,
time.
and now you're letting him get away with it.
Lisa, you have.
Well, tonight at 10, Tanisha Shaw will have more from parents and the school board's policy about the district's communications.
Well, Wisconsin has a new candidate entering the race for lieutenant governor. Small business owner Will Martin is launching his campaign today. The conservative served under Governors Tommy Thompson and Scott Walker. Martin says he is committed to tackling issues within the job market and home ownership. His platform will focus on cutting state government costs and partnering with the private sector. In a press release, Martin promises to, quote, restore the American dream for all Wisconsin citizens. Now, the seat will be vacant because current Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez is running for governor. Other candidates running for her seat include Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski, a Democrat, and Cyril Sablik, a Republican student at Waukesha County Technical College, and also former Lancaster Mayor David Varnum, also a Republican.
The Richland County Executive Committee voted to phase out the county's ambulance services with a unanimous decision this past week. It still needs to be passed by the full county board in Richland County to go into effect. Now, in a statement by the Richland County Board, it claims the service was no longer, quote, fiscally sustainable. The county's 2026 budget is already projected to run through $250,000 from the reserve fund before adding in extra costs from the continuation of ambulance services.
It's a scenario that's playing out all over Wisconsin, particularly in the rural areas.
Now, if no agreement is made between the board and the ambulance service within the next 3 months, the service will end. The county board meets tonight, 7 o'clock, to discuss the future of ambulances in that area. So to come at 6, the latest from Washington as the government shutdown enters its 20th day.
Plus, a major internet outage is affecting millions around the world, why it happened, and the major companies it hurt.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Amazon says its systems are mostly back online after an internet outage impacted people around the world today. However, people are still reporting problems. Impacted services include Venmo, Amazon Alexa, Snapchat, and Canvas, which is a learning platform that the universities of Wisconsin use. Now, we haven't heard from UW-Madison about whether students there are affected, but our sister station, WKBT in La Crosse, is reporting students and staff there at UW-La Crosse were affected.
We just created this cascading failure that infected, I can't even tell you how many different websites. Many of them weren't being smart anymore. They lost their intelligence because they lost their connection to the internet.
Experts say the total financial impact of the AWS disruption could cost billions of dollars.
Well, the federal government shutdown is currently in its 20th day. The Senate reconvened today to hold its 11th vote to try to fund the government in hopes of breaking the stalemate. Last week, the Senate left town after the bill fell short of the 60 votes needed to advance. Republicans and Democrats have been at odds as Democrats have pushed for negotiations over health care tax credits to be included in a funding measure.
The president has spent 1 hour negotiating this issue with leadership in Congress. That's it, 1 hour. They need to get in the room and stay in the room until we can hash this out.
20 days since the Democrats recklessly shut down the United States government. And the Democrats are making some very costly history here. Don't lose that in all that's happening. This is now the third longest shutdown in history.
Now, GOP House Speaker Mike Johnson goes on to say that he would bring the House back into session if the Senate passes a bill to pay federal employees and military service members who've continued to work during the shutdown.
Still ahead, what a new study on peanut allergies in children is revealing.
Plus, it is distribution week for our Coats for Kids campaign. We'll tell you where families in need can go for a free winter coat this week.
And just how chilly will it get this week? Alex returns his complete forecast when we come back.
Watching News 3 now at 6. Moving forward.
Welcome back. New research is showing fewer children are suffering from peanut allergies. Today, the journal Pediatrics released a study finding a 43% drop in peanut allergies. Now, this shift comes after a big change in national guidance back in 2017. It encouraged early peanut introduction to babies. Experts say early exposure helps babies build the food tolerance through their gut. The study also found that peanuts are no longer the top food allergen in young children. That distinction now goes to eggs. Well, we're just a few days away from handing out Coats for Kids, bringing our 2025 campaign to a close.
That's right. Distribution day set for Friday when we'll hand out close to 5,000 coats to local families in need for the winter time. Although the donation period is over, there's still time to help out. The club is looking for volunteers to continue to help them sort, transfer, and distribute the thousands of coats later this week. You can find those shifts available in a link at our website, channel3000.com. You'll be helping make a difference, giving these kids and their families a special shopping experience they surely won't forget.
We hang them on racks in all of our gymnasium areas so that families can come in and pick the coat that their child wants. Or a lot of times the children will come in also and be like, yeah, I totally want, this black and gray one, or there's like some Disney colored ones. And they get really excited about getting their new winter gear.
It actually is fun to watch. This will mark the end of our 40th annual Coats for Kids Winter Coat Collection. For the past 4 decades, you, our News 3 Now viewers, have donated nearly 360,000 winter coats. So once again, a huge thank you for helping make this campaign such a success. And our distribution day again, Friday, October 24th, 4 to 6 p.m. It's at the following Boys and Girls Club locations right here in Dane County: the McKenzie Family Club, that's in Sun Prairie, the Erica and Anthony Fleming Club in Madison, and the Allied Family Center in Fitchburg. You can find all the details again at channel3000.com.
And those coats will all come in handy. Please enjoy today's weather. They're about to take a nosedive, right, Alex?
That's absolutely correct. Nosedive really quick here, too. Tuesday going on into Wednesday, temperatures barely getting to 50 degrees, although we will work our way back up to temperatures where they should be for this time of year. So just a short period of very fall-like temperatures across southern Wisconsin, and then we'll work our way back up to something that's a little bit on the warmer side. We can get right down to street and road level here in Viroqua. It is raining on Highway 14 intersection of 56. We go a little bit further to the south and towards the east, towards the Soldiers Grove area and Highway 61. Also a couple of rain showers, and these rain showers are out ahead of a cold front that's entering the southwest part of the state, lining up from La Crosse over towards the Decorah area, and it's going to be making its way off towards the east very quickly this evening. This is a fast-moving cold front. Those showers already getting to Camp Douglas, the Dells, to Madison, Lone Rock. By the time we get to 8:30 at night, they sweep on through southern Wisconsin. Gusty winds coming in behind that cold front. Already by midnight, those showers are just off to the east. More showers in the forecast as we go into Tuesday. Another ripple of energy is going to ride in from the north and from the west as early as noon. Showers and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms popping up. We could be looking at some small hail. We call that grapple or soft hail as a possibility with some of these showers and isolated thunderstorms that could be around as well during that rush hour commute. So heads up on those showers and a couple isolated storms still continuing Tuesday night. Once we finally get into Wednesday, then those shower activity will start to dwindle. I said during the 5 o'clock newscast, I'd give you some water projections. Here you go, about a 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, especially from, let's say, Mineral Point, Boscoville to Monroe and areas off towards the north and towards the east. Lesser amounts over parts of far southwest Wisconsin. Winds, where they're really going to be ramping up here tonight, lasting into Wednesday for sure, gusting at times Tuesday upwards of 30 miles per hour, then 35 to 40 mile per hour winds on Wednesday. Will ease on down just a little bit Thursday. Little, if any, wind gusts Friday going on into Saturday, and those winds will start to creep back up as we go Sunday on into Monday. With the winds lightening up, especially as we go into Thursday night, that's going to increase that chance for frost. Look at the low temperature here Thursday night. 33 degrees. We've had frosty conditions in some parts of the area. We've got more frost on the way. We could even be looking at frost Wednesday night as well, with those temperatures rebounding back up to the upper 50s to right around 60. And then more fall-like showers are going to be in the forecast as we head out into the following work week with temperatures where they should be for this time of year in the 50s. Fall color report, want to call this out here because if you do have an opportunity to get out and about yet, I know it's going to be windy and showery tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's not the right day, but Wednesday you're for sure going to want to get out as we march through these next few days because our colors are peaking right now, and with the winds that we're having the next couple days, those leaves are going to go
to Michigan.
They're already heading off to the east to Michigan. You're absolutely correct. They're on that trajectory, but you wanted to get out and try to enjoy that while you can, while the colors are
Colors are good right now. Alex, thank you. Sure. Fans of the late author Harper Lee will soon get some new reading material.
That's right. 8 of her short stories are being released this week in a collection called The Land of Sweet Forever. These writings were found in Lee's New York City apartment after her death in 2016. Lee's biographer says some of the stories contain elements of the ideas that she wrote about in her most famous work, To Kill a Mockingbird. For a long time, the literary world thought that this was Lee's only major offering, but then shortly before her death, Go Set a Watch Band was also published. Very cool. Well, coming up, UW Athletic Director Chris McIntosh doubles down on his belief in head coach Luke Fickell. Sports Director Andrew Banstra will be breaking down the comments live from Jay's Bar next in sports.
It was another week, another blowout loss for Wisconsin football, and honestly, I wasn't so sure that Luke Fickell would survive Sunday. But this morning, Wisconsin's athletic director, Chris McIntosh, came out and doubled down his belief in the Badgers head coach Luke Fickell, issuing a statement that read in part, he's disappointed in the Badgers' results, but he and Fickell believe in this team's potential. McIntosh said the program will get a boost in funding to provide with Wisconsin with the resources it needs to succeed, acknowledging that it might not result in immediate success, but a positive impact in the long term, which begs the question, will Luke Fickell be a part of Wisconsin's long term?
I don't think any of us have a crystal ball. I've never asked the question. It's not something that I can dwell upon. It's not something that I can't tell you that it's not something that you don't think about. I'm not saying it's something when you go home, your wife doesn't look at you, but I guess you just let everybody else kind of deal with those things. I have not been told. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I understand, if we don't meet expectations and we don't do the things we need to do, anything can happen.
And it just so happens we have the perfect guest to talk about Wisconsin football with on the Wisconsin Huddle. The live taping starts at 7 p.m. It is Badger legend and Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. That's right, Joe Thomas. This is going to be a lot of fun. Back at Camp Randall, the biggest cheer at Camp Randall on Saturday was not for the football team, but for Wisconsin men's hoops. Greg Gard's guys were on the field getting fans excited for a season that starts 2 weeks from tonight. Not counting the COVID year, this is the first time the Badgers have been ranked in the preseason AP poll since 2016, slotting in at 24, a number that transfer forward Austin Rapp tells me isn't high enough.
As we've seen, we've been ranked 24th, which is obviously pretty cool, but I don't think that's where we're going to end up. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people, shock a lot of people. I think that the sky's the limit for this team. A lot of people are saying that, but I'm looking forward to kind of putting it to fruition and putting it into play and when we start in the next few weeks.
The Badgers begin their regular season on Monday, November 3rd at the Kohl Center hosting Campbell, but will play an exhibition game this Friday against Oklahoma at Fiserv Forum. And it's still not too late to get down here to Jay's Bar for a live taping of the Wisconsin Huddle with the one, the only Joe Thomas. If you can't catch it tonight, catch it on TV on News 3 Now at 6:30 on Friday. We'll send it back to you as we get ready for this show from Jay's Bar in Madison. I'm Andrew Banstra for News 3 Sports.
All right, Andrew, always good to hear from Joe Thomas. It'll be interesting to hear what he says. Anyway, let's get to Alex and a final check on this windy Monday.
Windy Monday, fall-like Tuesday, lasting into Wednesday. We've got some showers on the way right now. As we take a peek at radar 3000, those showers are on the way. They're in from the west. They'll be moving rapidly across southern Wisconsin tonight, but this is round number 1. Join us tonight at 10. We're going to have an update with Future Track on round number 2. You're not going to want to miss that because it could impact tomorrow evening's commute. More on that at 10.
All right, Alex, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Coming up next is Entertainment Tonight.
And be sure to join us again at 10 o'clock. Always as well, you can find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. Thanks for watching.